The way to achieve health and longevity with Qigong is by opening up a free circulation of Qi. So the question that rises is, how do we obtain that free circulation? The answer to that question is, by practicing, and refining, our internal sensitivity. We do so layer by layer, and always start with a basic, physical level. Sensitivity for the back is a core awareness. How that works is explained in this short video.
The theme for today is the back. And the back is very important. I always have trouble with it. Yes, we all do. The main reason is that we learn how to use our, biceps, our hamstrings and quadriceps, but we never actually learn how to use the back. We learn how to make it stronger. We learn how to evade using the back, because silly doctors tell you, oh, you shouldn't lift like this. You should bend the knee and then lift with the legs. No. All these African women in the field constantly standing like this would be doing it wrong. No, that's our natural way of acting. But what they do not tell you is how to use the back itself. And of course, I have the ultimate answer to that. The point is, everything that you use is a muscle. And the muscle has a beginning and an end, of course, and in between the bulk, the center. And that's where you want to use it. So we need an awareness of the bulk and allow that center of that muscle to work for us. The point is, usually when we bend over to pick something up, we bend over in the hip joints, or we bend in, below the rib cage where the diaphragm is. So then you get exaggerated manner, something like this, there or there. Now, please make this an exercise so you can become conscious of this type of movement. So the first one would be just slightly sit on the legs. Don't bend them too much. Let them not distract you. Align yourself. And then, like there are cogwheels in the hip joints, you rotate in the hip itself. The first thing you might feel in the back is a minor tension down there. Be aware of that. That's very important. But continue the rotation and continue the rotation and then move up again. So the main tension, you might feel a 1,000 things, but the main tension probably is located around here. Now, what have we done? If you lift, popular subject, if you lift a crate of beer, like so, then of course the biceps is working, and the biceps has the thick part in the middle, of course. And then it grows into a tendon, which is attached to the bone on this side and on that side as well. The strongest, where the biceps is the strongest, is in the center. This is where the pull should happen. And this and this, so the tendon sides of the muscle should only work as, let's compare it to an anchor. Now, when we are bending forward like so, what we are actually doing is we are hanging on the tendon side of the muscle. The bulk of the muscle is here, the soft part. Now let's go to the other side. So again, slightly sit on the legs, stand erect, soften the back as you are accustomed to. But now we are going to fold underneath the rib cage. It might help if you just slide, open hands, if you just pinch yourself in the side, you slide down, and then you will feel the bottom of the rib cage. This is the line of the diaphragm. So the intestines are in a type of sac. Then you have the heart and the lungs and the liver and so on. And they are on top of that. In between is the diaphragm. and that's movable. So what you get is, if you slide there, and now try not to fold here in the lower part, but only where your hands are, like so. If done correctly, you will feel the pull up here at the bottom line of the shoulder blades, more or less. So there. And you move back, relax the back. Now let's return and study Qigong. In the 7th Qigong, you know, the one moving like so, and so on. And from there, you dive forward and you continue. Now, the name of this exercise, Qingling Jian Shui, so a dragonfly taps the water. Water relates to the kidneys. That's a Chinese thing. A dragonfly is just because it moves very lightly. So you have a very light tap on the kidney area. Now, physically, the kidneys are located at the bottom of the rib cage. But in Chinese medicine, the energetic kidneys, so to speak, are located behind the soft part of the back. Now, what the 7th Qigong teaches us that we have to tap that area lightly, like a dragonfly. And of course, you're not pounding on it like so, which is very well possible, of course, and a very good exercise, but a bit out of order Qigong-wise. So what you are actually searching for is, of course, you will slightly fold in the hip joint, and of course, this will slightly fold as well. But the main fold you want to happen at the thick part of the muscle. So you soften the back, and first do it wrong, in between brackets, by folding yourself forward in the hip joints. Try not to feel anything else in the back, up to the back of the head, and relax the back so you will be very much aware of the pull at the height of the sacrum. And then you move up again. Let's do it wrong at the second height, the diaphragm height. So try not to feel any difference down there, up here, but ooh, there I go. Fold at diaphragm height and be aware of what happens at the back, in between the shoulder blades, the bottom line of the shoulder blades, and a bit lower, so actually behind the rib cage you feel the pull, and move up. Now try to not feel here or there. Don't generate anything to feel. Fold here. You can't go forward that far. Fold the soft part and correct. If you feel this pull, correct the pelvis. If you feel, well, that pull up there, I can't reach it, but that pull, then correct that. Only awareness at the soft part of the back. There, and then you bounce back up straight. So very gently fold forward. Make sure the other two awarenesses do not overrule sensation-wise. And back. Again. Now, first of all, I'm not saying that that is the location where you should lift things, but it is a location that should be a part of your lifting process, and it's always neglected. We are always hanging at the end of the tendon down there or up here, and that is too weak. So use the muscle itself. And then the tendons will follow, of course. So when you move along this, you bend and fold using the soft part of the back, then the hip joint and the diaphragm joint will also join the folding process, of course, but they should not overrule your awareness. So be aware of what you are doing. Now, why is this relevant? First of all, if you were successful in folding, unfolding using the soft part of the back, then you might have noticed that you start sweating, you get it slightly warm. That has to do with an internal process. The dantian, our energetic center, has an entrance and it has an exit. For us, the only thing is important that where you feel when you fold over, using the soft part of the back only, so you feel a pull over, well, a larger area, that entire area is the Mingmen. And that is actually the opening of the dantian, where it expels its yang qi, its active energy. And as you might recall, the yang qi rises through the back, meaning that you get warm on your head when you pulsate on that location. How is that relevant for our Qigong? Well, notice the first movement of the first Qigong. Just follow. Let's do it like a beginner would do. Would perform this exercise. So you sit on the legs, that's not that difficult. And then you repeat after me, more or less. So you think you have to lift the arms and you let them go down. Let's only use this part. So you lift the arms and you move down. One, the movement now is in the arms. So we are usurping a lot of energy to fight gravity. We have to lift the weight of our arms. The more relaxed you are throughout the entire arm, the heavier they will feel. You can physically see that I'm using the arm because this does not move. This moves up. Watch the shoulder joint and see it like a scissors opening and closing. See, like so, like so. So just sit on the legs and follow and be aware of what happens in that shoulder, how it opens up like a scissors and it folds down. Another thing that you might be aware of, or maybe not, but it's a sensation in the background, is that when you lift the arms in this manner, is that you are actually pulling them up with these muscles below the shoulder blades. So now let's slightly exaggerate. Let's fold forward in the wrong manner. So just move like so. Now let the arms hang and feel how the entire body, upper body, hangs on this location. If you feel other locations as well, that means that you have folded too many parts. So try to correct that. Yes. Straighten again. Now we're trying to avoid using this anchor part of the muscle. Use the soft part. So slightly curve forward, curve the soft part of the back. If you are using the diaphragm as well, you now will be aware of it. We have practiced that a few minutes ago. So try not to not let that happen. Just move up, stretch the soft part. Now, if you unstretch the soft part, like we have now put an elastic band under tension, and if we allow it to contract, then this will happen. There. And then you just allow the arms to fall. Now, this takes some practice. Awareness always takes some practice because the body does not want this. It's accustomed to a different type of moving. We as a person are accustomed to actually not being aware of it, which is way more comfortable until the moment that we get complaints, of course. So now sit through the legs. Feel the heaviness moving down, actually like if it goes through the soles into the floor. Lightly push out the palms so that you are aware of the palms as well. Then adjust the center line so you can open the head. And now I'm quite sure if you focus on the back that you will feel this location up here. So you have to find a way to, well, actually bulge out this area, not too much, but until this awareness disappears and this comes to the front. It might be that you're focusing so much on feeling this that you do not notice that you are building up tension down there. So be aware of that and position yourself in such a manner that that tension disappears as well. Good. A bit complicated, I can imagine, if you just research this with a gentle pulse and where you erase in your position this awareness and that awareness, and you only use that. First of all, you will feel fitter because a lot of yang qi comes free. Second of all, your body will learn how to use the back in a proper manner. Don't use this consciously again to lift your crate of beer. But when you lift, just lift as you always do, but use this as well. Add it to the spectrum that you already have. That was the session for today.